Okay, friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel that is Study Material. As we have started a new series that is Officer in Indian Army, so in this we will be continuing with that series. So, what are the topic that we are going to discuss in this lecture are listed here. So, the very first topic that we are going to start with that is the examination pattern for CDS, and then it will be followed by what are the different services that one can get through the CDS, and then we were discussing about the CDS cutoffs, and these cutoffs would be in respect to the last previous 3 year of survey. We have taken out this cutoff, and then one by one we were discussing all the three paper that are included in the CDS and what are the important topics that are is asked in this three paper and what are their weightage, so that we will be dealing with. So now let's begin with the very first topic, that is examination pattern of for CDS. So in the CDS examination there are total three paper that is conducted, and those are English, GK and mathematics. When I talk about the mode of examination, so it is completely an offline mode of examination. And what are the total number of maximum mark that one can obtain? So each paper consists of 100 marks each, that is English is of 100 marks, GK is of 100 marks and math is of 100 marks. And when I talk about the services, so in the Indian Military Academy, Indian Naval Academy and Indian Air Force Academy, the total cumulative marks that is 300 marks. And for the Officers Training Academy, that is OTA, the maximum marks is 200 marks. Each paper weighs 100 marks each, that already I have told you, and time allocated for each paper is 2 hours. That means that the complete serious examination is for 6 hours. Now, moving to the next topic, that is different services through CDS. So, what are the services that one gets to serve after clearing the CDS examination? So there are four services that one can opt after the CDS. The very first one is the Indian Military Academy, that is also known as IMA. The next one is the Indian Naval Academy, that is also known as INA. And the third one is the Indian Air Force Academy, which is also known as IAF. And the last one is the Officers Training Academy, which is also known as OTA. Now, so, looking over these four services, so there are a few more point on the board. And very first point is that in Indian Military Academy, Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, all these three academy or all these three services are the permanent commissioning, whereas OTA, that is Officers Training Academy, it is a temporary commissioning. Now, when I talk about IMA, INA, and IAM, the score is calculated of all the three subjects, that is maths, English, and GK. And since I have said you that all these three papers are of 100 marks each, therefore the total marks for IMA, INA, and IAF is 300 marks. Whereas in OTA, the score is calculated only for English and GK. So total maximum marks for OTA is 200. Now, moving to the next topic, that is the CDS cutoff. So this is the CDS cutoff that we have extracted looking at the trend of last 3 to 4 years. So we have written down the range in which the cutoff may vary. So the very first one we are going to deal, that is the Indian Military Academy. So the cutoff ranges from one between somewhere between 128 to 140 marks. In Indian Naval Academy, the cutoff ranges from somewhere between 90 to 118 marks, and in the Indian Air Force Academy, it ranges from 140 to 155 marks, and in the Officer Training Academy, it ranges from 95 to 65 to 95 marks. Now, one by one, we will be looking at all the three subjects and what are the important topics that are included in this and what are their weightage. So let's begin with the very first one, that is the mathematics. So in the mathematics, the standard of the paper is of elementary mathematics, which will be up to the matriculation level. And what are the topic that are asked and what are the number of questions? So now this is the number of questions that I have written, that is as per the latest examination which has been conducted for the CDS, that so, so here you can see that what are the number of question against the topic and what were their level of difficulty. So here you could see that in there are four topic which are of prime importance which have a higher weightage. And although this thing I have written just for the previous examination, but this has been in the trend that they are asking more questions regarding mensuration, more question regarding number system, and the more question would be regarding the trigonometry and your geometry. So these four part is very much of important as the trend has been seen that maximum question in the mathematics or more than half of the question on the mathematics is from these four section. So one really need to put hard work in this four section, that is geometry, trigonometry, number system, and mensuration. So that was all about the mathematics. Now moving next to English section. So, paper aims in testing the candidate's understanding of English and workman-like use of word. So, what are the important topics or what are the pattern in which the questions are asked in English? So, they ask the topics I have written here. So, they ask regarding the sentence improvement, and it really carries a good amount of weightage as 20 question is asked almost every year in this English section. So that plays a very important role. And the next important section, that is the reading comprehension, that is 23. And next one is the synonyms and the antonyms, and almost both combinedly they carry 15 questions, that is 8 question of synonyms and 7 question of antonyms. So in this, if you are having, if you are not, although you are not so good in English, you are having a good idea about the English, so easily out of this 15 question one can attempt 6 or 7 question, and that is a good number. Now when you talk about other important topics, so that is one word substitution, para jumble, sentence jumbling, spot the error, and close test. So you could also see the level of difficulty that I have mentioned. Most of them you would be seeing that they are of easy to hard level or easy to moderate level, and there is none of the topic that is of hard level. So it is not something that you can't do it. Once one who is having a fair good knowledge of English can easily attempt and easily get a good marks in English. Now moving to the next topic, that is the general knowledge. So the general knowledge includes knowledge of current affairs and also the knowledge of such matter of everyday observation, that is also known as the science. It also covers the Indian history, geography, and the economics. So now let's just see that what are the weightage of the different topics. So to begin with the history, so the level of difficulty you could see in the history is difficult, and the number of question that has been asked previously is 19. So here the history is divided into three parts, that is the ancient history, medieval history, and modern history. So for the simplicity, one a student can do that, they can just go through the modern history nicely, because the ancient history and in the medieval history one needs to memorize a lot of things and the weightage is not that much. So out of the 19 question, around 12 to 13 question are asked from the modern history. So modern history plays an more important role. And the next is the science. It carries 27 marks in 27 questions, and it is quite easy, and one can easily attempt 23 to 24 question. And the next one is the geography, which and the number of question is 22. For ecology, the number of question is 6. For polity, it is 20. For economy, it is 11, and for miscellaneous award or for forces, it is 15. So you could also see the level of difficulty I have mentioned here, and hopefully this video will give you a greater picture of the examination. And that's all about the today lecture. If you liked our content, please do share with your friend and subscribe on our channel. And if you have any doubt, write it down in the comment section.